Hi Cancer, here's a general look at your solar chart for September 2013, and the cards generally are stacked in your favor, but don't overlook important details. If that was just the whole thing in a one line, I would say, but Jupiter's now in your sign, will be there until next year. Jupiter, planet of abundance, will be in your sign until next July. And so there will be an undulating wave of Jupiter energy affecting different natives of your sign over these coming months. But you mustn't throw caution to the wind, and you've got to keep, especially this month, perhaps a closer eye on the financial side of things, or to do with property maybe, or possessions. But let me begin at the beginning. So until the 23rd, the Sun is in a sociable, mentally busy area. You meeting and greeting, perhaps mixing, mingling, in person, over the wires. Perhaps there's more paperwork to deal with, more communications. Perhaps it's to do with education for you as well, and just more information for you to get your head around. Or you putting information out there, that's another way it can work. Communications equipment could also be on your mind, vehicles, travel, transport, that kind of thing, that could all be highlighted. And until the 9th, Mercury is chiming in with the Sun in this very outgoing, chatty communications area of your solar chart, which also has to do with education. And so there's definitely going to be increased interchanges, or maybe just a lot more running around in your head, and as I say, possibly more paperwork, possibly more to get your head around, but you could be making some useful connections, whether they're old ones, revamped, or new ones, and that's in person or over the wires. And Mercury moves on the 9th, and from the 9th till the end of the month, really, till the 29th. Then discussions could be more more sensitive, more introspective. The Sun, however, moves on the 23rd, putting that focus in there as well. So first of all, Mercury goes into this more inward, introspective mode, and you are nearer to your, things going on in your private life, nearer to your feelings. Feelings are more nearer the surface, really, and you could feel that it's time to take stock, or to mull things over, or to consider the past in some way, or to connect more with the past through parental influence, or to be considering a legacy or a tradition of some kind. Just something to do with the past, and it could be perhaps not your personal past, it could be everybody's, so in other words, history in some way or another. And it's likely, though, with Mercury here, that it's going to be a mentally more active, busy time at home, and also physically perhaps toing and froing more, and you connecting with others more, right in your own backyard, whether that's to do with your location or over the wires. The Sun is transiting into that area on the 23rd, and that means that you will be busier in and around a base of operations, maybe wanting to do something with a space, maybe enjoying a space, maybe you're not at home, maybe you're somewhere else, but you're just enjoying the space. Venus is in this area up until the 11th, but actually has moved out of there when the Sun's arrived. However, Venus and Mercury will be in that area, lighting that up in a nice kind of a way between the 9th and the 11th. And that beams a friendly ray of light onto family relationships, or neighborhood type relationships, community, tribal relationships, and you feeling appreciated more by, or supported more by, those around you. Perhaps not all of them, perhaps it just needs one, and feeling that energy, that warm energy which you feel enables you and gives you a feeling of security, but also the Venus energy up until the 11th may inspire you to embellish or decorate or just do something which just improves your space in some way or somebody else's, and that can be both outside as well as inside. It's a good time to be working from home or mixing and mingling more in the neighborhood up until the 11th, and being more the visitor or being more the host there. But Mercury is in this area up until the 29th. The Sun comes into that area on the 23rd, and this is very much one of your themes, actually, Cancer, because this is your own house of the zodiac, the 4th house. Watch out, though, for around about the 18th, 19th, when relationships just may feel like harder work for some reason, and this is due to Venus flitting across the Saturn's degree in the heavens. It doesn't last very long, but it could be an emotionally or even financially more challenging time there, and it might mean that you've got to watch your P's and Q's, you've got to watch your back in some way, or you've just got to be on your best behaviour. Actually, try not to schedule anything very important for those 2 days there if you can possibly help it, because you need to be more with yourself in your own, touching base with yourself. And from the 23rd, or really from the 9th, this starts, actually, you start to ponder things more deeply, and maybe there's a blast from the past in some way as well. Mars, last month, was having you being very active and wanting to initiate things, wanting to get out there and do. Now Mars is in a lower key mood, time to roll up your sleeves and look at things from a more, or get things done, which will underpin you or others materially, financially, with property, etc. And try not to throw caution to the winds in this area here, because Mars can be ever so hasty wherever he goes. So you might want to get your hands on something, you might want to ditch something, you might want to just get rid of something which you think is actually more trouble than it's worth. But overall, this is a time for you to be more practical, resourceful, about making the most of what you have, about improving cash flow maybe, or improving on or tapping into whatever resources or assets that maybe you've even overlooked. And just watch your step, though, related to basic material security, money, property, possessions, transactions, negotiations, because Mars can be impulsive, but others around you also can be impulsive. Others around you can also show that aggressive side that flashes red with Mars sometimes. And your physical strength could be stretched as you are trying to get things more how you want them to be in this area here. So you might be actually, moving and shoving things around because you're trying to get organized. Mars is demanding that you put more decisiveness, not hang around for others, but be more decisive. Don't be over impulsive, just be decisive in a more material, security orientated sense, but keep a sharp eye on the piggy bank and possessions as well, or any other bit of territory that you're responsible for. And you might have to be a little bit more dynamic about making use of your own talents and skills, Cancer. Now, Jupiter has moved into your sign. You may or may not know that, and this is great news for you. It's time for a real growth spurt in your life. This is a very slow-moving transit due to complete next July, and you could be taking off in all sorts of interesting directions, but again, try not to spread yourself too thin or have too high expectations, don't go too far too fast, and definitely don't overlook important details. I will come back to this, and I will be nagging you about this again, because if you kind of meet those criteria, then this Jupiter transit can really put things on a very, very different footing for you at this time by the time you get to this month next year. Just try to avoid trusting to luck. But this is the time for expansion in your life. This is the time for you to spread your wings, and particularly for you to work on anything which is for yourself personally, which is from your own inner truth, from your own inner needs, from your own inner vision, from whatever it's about, what you know you need to be doing for yourself. You need to be getting on with that on the back of this great Jupiter wave, which is potentially, a very, very good thing for you. And you Cancerians born 4th to 11th of July with 13 to 19 degrees rising, going to feel the energy the most this month. I might have messed up on those dates last month. If I did, I do apologise, but this is correct now. It's for you Cancerians born 4th to the 11th of July, or with 13 to 19 degrees rising. I think I wrote July last month instead of June. However, now we've got it right. Saturn now is in a very positive angle to your sun sign. Saturn can be quite heavy when we get her in a hard angle, but you got her in really a very, very good, in fact the best angle you can get, and means that over this very, very long time, up until 2015, you should be paying more serious, consistent, nurturing attention to any creative projects you've got going on, enterprises, romantic relationships, children, young people, projects there, or just, their upbringing, also to do with animals, to do with pets, to do with any kind of speculative activity, investment, that kind of thing, or anything that you are wanting to slowly build, which kind of makes you feel good, kind of makes you feel your power, and go for that, and don't expect instant results. It's step by step over these many, many, many months, because that's the way of Saturn. And then slowly things blossom, come to fruition, and if you meet those criteria, you should do very well. It may mean that you feel held back in these areas that I've just mentioned, that there are obstacles and problems, but Saturn is ever the tester and great challenger of the zodiac. So even though she is in a very positive angle to your sun sign, you might see these as scarcities, as problems, as irritations, as lacks in your life. But just do what you know you need to do. Get on with the work. Do what you need to do to, feed the children, as it were. And you can take that as an analogy. And you Cancerians born between the 27th of June and the 2nd of July, or with 6 to 11 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And the current position of Saturn, Neptune and Jupiter, all in the water signs, are going to do huge amount of good for you in your sign, and you could do with a little bit of that because you've had this very harsh duo coming at you from Capricorn and Aries for a few years now. So you could do with this kind of a break and use it well. And this set up here with Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, even though they're not in the perfect alignment anymore, they're still in the water signs, and one of them's yours, Jupiter, so you can go forward. It's a real forward moving energy, giving you maybe a little bit of luck, a little bit of, as I say, cards stacked in your favor, with creativity, with turning your ideals and aspirations into reality, things that are close to your heart. Go for it. And but do it, listening to your gut instinct as well, and come from that true core self, that authentic self, because with Jupiter in your sign, Jupiter really delivers on that and doesn't deliver on ego stuff really very well at all. So over this long transit, you will learn to think bigger and be more enterprising. That'll be Jupiter in your sign, but also with Saturn and Neptune as well. And that's it for September. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those, especially the moon sign. And that'll give you maybe some new ideas on what I've been saying here. And also, I update every month the position of the slow moving outer planets, and have a look at that on my website if you're interested. And I'll see you the next time.